this establishment looks a bit better than the last shambles you poked us into. How did you manage that?
You're welcome, Father. The owner is a big supporter of the theater. He gave us a good rate. We should be grateful.
He's the one who should be grateful. He's getting the cream of the crop for virtually nothing.
Stop squabbling, you two. The new program is going to bring in more audience. Selections from Shakespeare. What a great idea, Alan. People will love it.
What a world. People won't even sit through a whole play anymore.
Times are changing. People don't want to spend their leisure hours watching Shakespeare. They want vaudeville. They want the moving picture.
They want a syphilis.
Nobody wants to hear somebody standing on the stage whistling. I mean, none of the things you suggest will last.
So you say. Need I remind you, stepfather, that we all have a say in what happens?
I'm still the head of this company, and I will decide the program.
Please, you are giving me a headache. We must put our energy into the performance tonight.
The real problem is you lot. None of you deliver the bard's words properly. See, everything depends on the rhythm of the line. Tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day. You must pronounce the lines properly. Connie, you need to speak up. People can't hear you. How many times have I told you?
I've lost count.
Don't be so hard on her, Donald. She is young. She'll learn. And one day she'll have the spirit of the bard inside her as well. Now, come on, get going. Off. Oh.
Here, let me help.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Bond, how are the ticket sales so far?
A little slow, but it's early.
How many?
4. 3 groundlings and 1 seat.
It'll pick up.
As long as we have enough money to pay for the tent.
Thank you. Enjoy. Welcome, gentlemen. Would you like to sit or stand? It's 25 cents for a chair and 10 more cents for a cushion.
And standing is?
10 cents.
I'm happy to stand.
I'm not. We'll take 2 seats with cushions. Pay the young lady, Murdoch.
Thank you.
Selections from Shakespeare.
Oh, we aren't seeing an entire play?
We must be just getting the best bits. Hope we get some Falstaff. We have heard the chimes at midnight. He was a bit of a carouser, always out late night drinking.
Is that a character you identify with, sir?
We're off duty, Murdoch. No need to be smart.
Not much of a crowd.
Not much culture in Toronto.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our show. Tully's Troubadours at your service. And we have a show for you tonight. Our first presentation will be an excerpt from one of the most famous plays ever written. The Tragedy of Prince Hamlet of Denmark. By, of course, the incomparable William Shakespeare. Now, I'm sure you're all familiar with this story, but just to remind you.
Get on with it. We don't have all day.
Very well. I didn't realize I was speaking to so well-educated a group. Without further ado, as apparently you all know, Hamlet has set up a play to determine whether or not his uncle has murdered Hamlet's father, as the ghost says he has. Let the show begin.
Can't hear what they're saying.
That's because there's no speaking in this part. It's all done by mime.
It's a mime. Mime? They paid for this?
Sir, are you all right? The beard. Please take care of my beard.
The liquid poured into Mr. Tooley's ear was definitely poisonous. It was saturated with a tincture of henbane.
He died quite quickly. That's unusual.
Yes, Mr. Tooley was suffering from a minor tympanic membrane perforation. The poison would have entered his bloodstream quickly with bad results.
Are we saying this was death by misadventure then?
It's possible, but it seems strange that someone would use real poison for the act. Surely that seems unnecessary.
As I recall in the play, the ghost of Hamlet's father declares that what kills him was Hibona.
Sir, someone is taking the script literally?
Come on, Murdoch. I think we should have a talk with Tooley's troubadours.
Well, that's not necessary, sir. I can take care of this.
I know, but I've had enough sit behind a bloody desk. Sound the trumpet, Murdoch. The old warhorse is back in business.
Sir?
Thought you'd like that.
Well, yes, of course. Our coroner has confirmed that Mr. Tooley's death was caused by the rapid influx into his system by way of his ear, the poison henbane.
And that's what you did, was it not? Poured something into his ear?
No. Why, that's ridiculous. It was all pretext. We were acting. There was no poison, no henbane. Dora, you take care of the props. Tell him.
I filled the vial a half hour before curtain. It contained nothing more dangerous than water.
Who else had access to this vial?
It wasn't locked away, if that's what you mean. Why should it be? Alan had to pick it up just before his entrance.
I just did what I was supposed to do. I carried it on stage and I acted as directed. We've done it before many times. Nothing like this has ever happened.
The poison likely wouldn't have been fatal were it not for Mr. Tooley's existing condition.
What kind of condition are you referring to?
He had a perforated eardrum.
Were any of you aware that Mr. Tooley had a problem with his eardrum?
Oh, he constantly complained about it. I told him to go and see a physician, but you know how men are.
So everyone was aware of it?
Painfully aware.
So any one of you lot could have killed him?
Yes, but none of us did.
This troop is like a family, Chief Constable. We have our disagreements and squabbles, but that is normal, is it not?
Of course.
Now, would you be kind enough to leave us? We've had a terrible loss.
One more thing. Mr. Tooley, before his death, asked that you take care of his beard. What did he mean by that?
He was referring to one of the props that we sometimes employ.
Oh, right. I'll be needing that and the vial that was used the night of the performance.
That's the thing, sir. They are both gone.
Gone?
The property box disappeared shortly after the performance.
Ridiculous.
What's that? The new serial Ruth is in. That's the script for it. The Adventures of Agnes and Arthur.
And it appears you object to it?
Have a look at page 8.
And then Arthur kisses Agnes and leads her to the boudoir.
The boudoir? Ruth is your wife, isn't she? She certainly is. And I'm the only one who gets to do the intimate things.
They are just acting, Henry.
And you're not an actor.
Well, I could be. I mean, how hard could it possibly be? Hold on. What if I were to apply for the part myself? Then Ruthie and I would be able to spend more time together.
Right, you lot. Stop fannying around with the plants. I've got a job for you. Higgins, Roberts, you're off to the Watling Inn.
Of course, sir. Why?
You're looking for a missing theatrical properties box.
Are we looking for anything in particular?
Yes, a false beard and a glass vial.
Right away, sir.
Seems you've got it all under control.
Not so fast. We believe one of these people may have poisoned the victim with henbane. I need to know where someone would find such a thing.
Henbane. I have an idea.
Watts?
No respect.
Toronto Constabulary.
What do you want?
Sorry to bother you, ma'am.
We're looking for a collection of missing props.
Well, I don't have them. But please find them. They are my late husband's most treasured possessions.
I'm afraid we still need to have a look around your room.
You don't believe me?
We'll be as brief as possible.
Mr. Travell?
Ah, Detective Watts. I'm sorry, your order of sage and bee balm has yet to arrive.
I'm not here about that. I was wondering if you sell henbane.
I do indeed. In fact, I sold a bottle of henbane tincture recently.
Did you sell it to any one of these people?
No, none of them.
Are you sure?
Mine's still sharp, son.
Can you describe the person who purchased it?
I'm not sure. He was all muffled up, said he had the grip, couldn't talk very well.
You said he was a man, then?
Let's say he was trying to be a man, but to my mind, he was just a young sprat who wanted to look grown up, had some sort of moustache and beard, tried to make his voice deeper. You know how it is, Detective. We've all gone through it. I know I did.
Right. Did he say why he wanted it?
Oh, yes. I always ask. He was getting it for his mother, who was suffering from a severe toothache. She's also of a nervous disposition, and henbane can calm a person down if need be.
But he would have known it was a poisonous substance, right?
Of course he would have. I make sure to give the customer clear instructions as to how to use my medicines, dosage, and so on. I write it on the label, like this.
Oh. Thank you.
How much longer will you be? Almost finished.
Why do you have this?
My wife is a moving picture actress.
You are married to Ruth Newsom.
Well, her proper name is Ruth Higgins Newsom.
And why do you have her script?
I intend to play the role of her husband.
Oh, good for you. Do you have any acting experience?
Why do you need experience?
Believe me, you'll need it. Let me hear you read. Why don't you read this bit?
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. What do you think?
I charge a very reasonable rate for lessons.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think you should take him up on it, Henry.
So, when do we start?
Was I really that bad?
I don't know. I could understand the words, but it sounded like you didn't.
Well, I read them, didn't I?
Yeah, but it was like you didn't know what they meant.
Have we found anything yet?
Well, still 2 rooms to go.
But nothing so far, sir.
Nothing. Perhaps you could look under this desk.
Oh, there it is. You missed that, Teddy.
All right.
Hey, what are you doing in my room?
I think the better question is, what is this doing in your room? So you're a thief, then?
Well, you have me dead to rights on that, so I won't deny it.
I suppose the next question is, are you a murderer as well?
I'm not!
Raising your voice will not persuade us of your innocence.
I was nowhere near Mr. Tooley when he was killed.
So in the middle of the confusion, you absconded with this box. Why?
Because it was valuable.
Looks like a bunch of theatrical junk to me.
Perhaps to the untrained eye, but it is far from that. Last year, Donald was on tour in England. He met an antique dealer who said he had in his possession several artifacts that had belonged to Shakespeare's own troupe, the Chamberlain's Men.
And did he try and sell him London Bridge as well? Well, it all appears to be here, apart from the beard.
Where is that?
I don't know. It wasn't in the box when I took it. It's the most valuable of all.
Well then, if these items are genuine, then they would be worth a fortune.
I'd say, especially that beard. It is said it confers magical powers when used by an actor.
Right, so you've confessed to the theft, but not the murder.
Because I didn't kill him.
Who besides you in the troupe would have reason to do so?
At different times, everyone, I'd imagine. Donald could be a proper tyrant.
Right. And where were you before the performance commenced?
I'd rather not say.
Right. Well then, you'll remain in our cells.
I was with Connie Corlin in her room.
The dead man's daughter?
But no one can know.
Getting it on with the boss's daughter. That's one way to get ahead.
Hardly. Connie and I hope to marry.
Did anyone else know about this?
No. If her mother or father had found out, I would have been let go. Relationships between the performers were strictly forbidden. Can I go?
Not yet.
In previous days, in theater, actors tended to use big gestures. For instance, if they wanted to convey fear, they would do this. Surprise, like this. Joy, like this. Now you do it. Fear. Now, surprise. As I said, that was back then. Now, we are tending much more toward naturalism. We rely on more subtle facial expression, often without words. You should be able to convey what you are thinking, and your audience should know what that is. So, give it a try. I give up. What are you thinking?
I was thinking about some actor getting familiar with my wife.
You certainly did not show it.
I suppose I'm not a very expressive person.
It is an actor's job to share their emotions with the audience, to let them feel what you are feeling.
Well, how would they know what I'm feeling?
By allowing them a piece of your soul. I've marked a speech in this play. It's from The Tempest. The character, Caliban, is despised, barely seen as human by his master. Then he gets to say the most astonishing speech. Before our next session, I'd like you to start practicing the lines that I've underlined.
This will help me get into the moving pictures.
Of course. The best foundation for any acting work is to master the bard.
Be not afeared. The isle is full of noises, sounds, and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears.
Huh? That's good for now. So, could you tell me, does Mrs. Newsom...
Higgins Newsom.
Higgins Newsom. Does she subscribe to the realist or expressionistic school of acting?
Oh. Both?
I see.
What's to say that Armin didn't slip out and poison the vial? It would take seconds. Or Connie, for that matter. They could be colluding.
Then why was the beard the only item missing out of the properties? It's arguably the most valuable one.
Someone took it before Armin stole the rest of them.
Possibly.
Someone who actually believed it had magical properties. But that's bollocks. Who believed that rubbish?
They're actors, sir. They're not like us.
Take the next left around this corner here, Constable.
Oh, Miss Kwan? A word.
Of course. Have you found the missing props?
Yes, we have.
Can I have them back?
They're evidence in a murder investigation. It's curious that you're more concerned about them than the death of Mr. Tooley.
There's not much I can do about the fact he's dead, is there?
Actually, there is, Miss Kwan. We've been able to recover all of the properties, with the exception of Shakespeare's beard. Why is that?
How would I know?
Well, taking charge of the properties is your exclusive responsibility, is it not?
It is.
But you don't know where the beard is. Did you steal it? We do need an answer. We do have a nice, dark and damp jail cell waiting.
Earlier in the day, Connie asked if she could borrow it.
Where is she now?
I'm not supposed to say.
You are also supposed to answer a policeman's question when asked.
She said she had an audition. Something to do with vaudeville.
Next!
Miss Cortland, that was excellent.
Really? No, thank you.
Our show is looking for a host. Thank you. Next.
A host? I would rather be a performer.
You would have 5 minutes between acts to whistle your little heart away. Many of our hosts move on to become headliners.
Could I?
Anything's possible. It all depends whether or not the audience likes you. I told you before, no fire acts. Next.
That's a shame. I would have liked to have seen that.
Miss Cortland, a word, please?
We're in the middle of something here. Carry on.
What do you want?
We have some questions.
Then ask them.
Not here. We'd prefer for you to come down to the station house, please.
The station house. Why?
You're under suspicion of killing your stepfather, Donald Tooley.
By whose direction foundst thou out this place?
By love, that first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes.
Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush but paint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye.
Oi! Enough of the bad Shakespeare. Knock it off. Miss Cortland, after you.
What? Please find the owner of the apothecary and bring him here.
Anon.
Henry, go back to the inn and conduct a more thorough search of Miss Cortland's room.
Of course, sir. What am I looking for?
The beard.
Would you... Don't look like much. Be not afeard. The isle is full of noises, sounds, and sweet airs that give delight. And hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears. I would love to meet with you. Yes, I am now free of my previous obligations. Thank you, Mr. Devil. I can meet with you at your earliest convenience. The motion pictures are of great interest to me. And I have heard that you are looking for a leading man for Ruth Newsom's new serial. Yes. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Wonderful news. Thank you so much.
Please stop that.
You don't like my whistling?
I like it. You're bloody good. Do you know Skyboat?
Sir.
Well, look, sometimes you just have to enjoy the performance.
Both Detective Watts and Constable Higgins are back, sir.
Thank the Lord for small mercies.
Skyboat.
Chief Constable.
Here it is. There's something odd about it, sir.
Well, yes, Henry. It possesses magical powers.
Something like that.
Is this the beard, then? Reminds me why I got rid of the old ginger growler. Magic powers or not.
We're all grateful.
Sir, there's one more thing. You may want to have a look at this as well.
What is it?
It's a contract of some sort. I thought it might be important.
Oh, indeed. Keep hold of this. Mr. Travell, we're ready for you.
It's about time.
Right this way.
And this can be used on plants as well as humans?
Well,
I'm not sure.
Please put the beard on.
Yes. Yes. Sure enough, that is the very person who bought the henbane. Well, if I had known it was a person in disguise, I certainly wouldn't have sold it to them.
Right. Thank you, sir. Miss Cortlandt, you purchased henbane tincture from Mr. Travell's apothecary.
I did.
Why?
To kill your stepfather?
No, I loved my stepfather.
Then why the henbane?
I had heard ingesting henbane can give you the sensation of flying.
And why would you do that?
Well, I was to play the part of Ariel in our next play, and she has to fly on a bat's wing. So I wanted to experience in my body what that would feel like.
And what about the disguise?
Well, I didn't want my stepfather to find out. He was strict about us not using any false stimulants, as he calls it. He insisted that our acting must not come from unnatural sources.
He was a hard taskmaster.
I suppose.
And what about this? It's a contract between yourself and Donald Tooley. It binds your professional exclusivity for the next 5 years, and you are to remain single.
All the members of the troupe had to sign the same contract.
But only you and Armin were in a relationship.
We're not.
Are you sure? Because he seems to believe that you are to be wed.
Something that had to be kept secret while your father was alive.
Stepfather?
But with him dead, you two could pursue your dreams. You could join the vaudeville, marry Armin, and bring him along.
Or stay behind and be part of his dying dream.
All that may be true, but we did not kill him. I swear, I loved my stepfather.
Even though he stole your chance at happiness.
Well, he's dead now. Do I look very happy to you?
So do you think Romeo and Juliet killed the stepfather so they could be together?
I don't believe she was involved in that. He seemed sincere.
One may smile and be a villain.
Sir?
It's from Hamlet. It's what Hamlet says when he discovered who killed his father. Hamlet's uncle, Claudius, pretended to be all sweetness and light, but...
Constable Roberts, what have you?
Pardon me, sir?
What have you found for me?
Right. It's a arrest report from the Hamilton police 3 years ago.
What's in it?
I believe they call it motive.
You're a cheeky son, so aren't you, Roberts?
He's fine.
3 years ago, you had a physical altercation with your stepfather.
I did.
Why?
At the time, I believed he killed my father.
What do you believe now?
Answer the detective.
I think there are still questions regarding his death.
Your real father was a gentleman named John Cortlandt?
He was.
This file goes into some detail about your altercation with Mr. Tooley, but it says nothing of how your real father died. What happened?
They say it was an accident.
And you don't believe that?
It was 3 years ago. Donald Tooley had just joined the troupe. He was an accomplished actor, and my father believed he would be of great benefit to us. My real father was a trusting man.
You feel this trust was misplaced?
Tooley had eyes for my mother. I could see it. Everyone could.
So you think he killed your father so he could take up with your mother?
Mr. Tooley and my father went for a walk. They were going to discuss the future of my father's troupe.
But they didn't see eye to eye.
Tooley believed in Shakespeare, but my father had become increasingly interested in other forms of entertainment.
And you think Tooley had eyes for your mother?
I could see the way he looked at her on more than one occasion. My father never returned from that walk. They found him dead at the bottom of the Scarborough Bluffs.
You think Tooley pushed him?
We'll never know, will we? Those two will have to face each other in another life.
I assume your mother didn't share your suspicions?
Well, Donald could be very charming when he wanted to be. It didn't take long to sweep her off her feet. Father had been dead only a few months when they married.
That must have been hard to live with, knowing that the man who killed your father was now married to your mother.
If I wanted to kill him, I would have killed him then.
And what of your sister? You love her, yes?
Of course.
She wanted out of the troupe, didn't she? She wanted to spread her wings, begin a new life. And Mr. Tooley wasn't about to let her do that.
Well, she doesn't have to worry about that anymore, does she?
No. And neither do you. You were also going to leave and take up the moving pictures.
According to who?
One of our constables overheard your conversation with Mr. Deverell, the moving picture producer. You arranged to meet with him.
And now with Tooley's death, you and your sister can make your dreams come true. I'd be tempted to do the same thing, wouldn't you, Murdoch?
'Tis one thing to be tempted, another thing to fall. And I did not fall.
So what do you think, Murdoch?
Alan, Connie, Armin. One of those three did it.
But not enough evidence to charge any of them.
I will speak to him.
Mrs. Tooley.
You are holding my son and daughter in your cells, along with another member of my troupe. I would like them to be released.
Even though one of them more than likely killed your husband.
None of those three did that. Charge them or release them, or I shall have a lawyer charge you.
What happened to let's kill all the lawyers?
Sometimes the bard is wrong. Sometimes lawyers are not without their uses. So, do you intend to charge them?
Not at this point.
Then let them out. We have a show to perform.
You're going to continue?
Well, of course we are. It's what Donald would have wanted. I'm next in line to be in charge of this troupe, and I intend to honor his legacy. The troubadours will not be disbanded. Not while I live and breathe.
Tell me again, where are we going?
I am telling Alan that he will not be leading my wife into the boudoir. Henry Higgins will not be played for a fool.
Why do you need me?
Well, to show that I won't be trifled with.
Oh, snakes!
Dear God, call the fire department now! What happened?
I don't know. I gotta take you.
It's all over. It's all done.
Perhaps it's for the best.
We never should have come to this wretched city. But I will not let our dream die.
But Mother,
Shakespeare is in our soul, not our possessions.
I don't know what happened. I'd gone into the wagon to organize the backdrops for the next show. And then before I could get out, I was surrounded by a wall of fire. Your constable saved my life.
And you saw no one else out here?
Not a soul.
Did you require medical attention?
No, I'm fine. But look at this. Everything is gone except for what was left in the tent. May I?
Of course.
You know who else is gone?
Mr. Alan Cortland is nowhere to be found.
Do they know how it started?
Bit early in the morning for that, wouldn't you say?
No, I wouldn't.
Petrol. Did you set the fire?
'Tis pity, 'tis true.
You don't deny it? You could have killed someone.
I didn't know the door was inside the wagon. Look, I swear. I thank the Lord that your man got her out in time.
And save you from a murder charge.
Why did you do it?
I thought that by destroying the troops' possessions, I could make my mother disband us. And for once and for all, I could be free to do what I want to do.
But instead, she chose to honor your father's wishes.
He was not my father.
You're a grown man. Why didn't you leave?
It would have destroyed her if she thought that I abandoned her.
And killing her husband is fine in your book.
I did not kill Thule. I did what I was instructed to do. I didn't know there was henbane in that vial.
Why should we believe you?
I will admit to crimes I committed, but not to the ones I didn't. Do your damnedest, sir. I don't care anymore. This world is stale and unprofitable to me. That's Hamlet.
This is ridiculous. We have no props, no sets, no actors, not even the proper weapons.
The world is our stage, Armin, and we perform with what is provided. It is our lot. Very good. But you look awkward.
What are you doing with my brother?
He admitted to setting the wagon on fire.
Good Lord, why?
You're not the only one who wanted to be free of the troop.
We'd like to speak with your mother.
Please do.
Where is she?
In the tent with Armin, practicing the final duel from Hamlet.
Bloody hell.
What is it?
Well, the final duel is between Laertes and Hamlet. They both die.
Look like you belong. Look like you're an actor. Not a clown and a baboon. A man who surely does not deserve the hand of my daughter.
You knew?
Of course I knew her. And I cannot allow you to ruin my daughter's future. My husband's dream is dead, as mine is as well. But my daughter's life will not be destroyed by the likes of you.
I love her. And she loves me.
She's a child and you're a fool.
Mother, no!
Let me do it. Just please let me do it.
All right.
That is enough.
It wasn't just Donald's dream. It was mine. If the troop disbanded, I would lose both my son and daughter. And I'd already lost their father.
You don't believe your daughter had the right to decide her own future?
Not with a man unworthy of her. No woman deserves that. But we settle. We always settle.
How do you mean?
I married a man who was weak.
I thought your daughter purchased this.
She did. I found it in her room. Just shortly before the performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our show. Thule's troubadours at your service.
So you intended for this to happen?
I only wanted time. Time for him to think, time for him to reconsider.
What do you mean?
He told me he'd come to a decision. He was going to allow Alan and Connie to leave. He was going to disband the troop.
You told me he was the one dedicated to this.
Well, he was. I thought he was. But he was tired. Tired of half-empty houses. Tired of pursuing his dream with people who didn't share it.
So you made the decision to kill him?
I expected he would sleep for a few days. I didn't know the henbane would kill him. I swear I didn't know.
will be seeking charges in the death of your husband.
Well, do what you must. I have lost my family. My son and daughter will scatter in the winds.
And chart their own course. I'll be petitioning for leniency. I don't believe your mother intended to kill your stepfather.
And you say he was going to grant us our wishes?
Yes, she said that Mr. Tooley intended to disband the troop.
Yes, but we're not.
We have decided to stay together for the foreseeable future. Form a new troupe. We will be performing Shakespeare alongside other entertainments like clowning, jigs, whistling.
Where will you go?
We're going to Stratford, same as the Bard's home.
Isn't that in the middle of farm country? How will you find a theatre in the middle of a load of fields? And who'll come?
Well, we're planning to build one ourselves.
They'll come. Until then, we'll satisfy ourselves with Mr. Bond's tent.
Head on out. There's still lots to do here.
Mr. Bond will be joining us.
Ah, so the innkeeper has caught the theatre bug.
Perhaps, but I believe it's Dora who's caught his eye. We'll be right behind you.
Well, best of luck to you all.
Thanks. Thanks. And ever thanks.
When that I was a little tiny boy with the hey-ho, the wind and the rain.
You've given up your dreams of the silver screen, Henry?
The motion picture studio has killed the project.
Why?
They say no one will want to watch the adventures of a married couple. You know, there are many things that Henry Higgins is very, very good at, but I don't think acting is one of them.
It is said it confers magical powers when used by an actor.
Our revels now are ended. These, our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into air, into thin air.